All right, let's get straight to it. This is the intelligence briefing for April 1st, 2026. For the better part of a century, the world has operated on a system of, well, predictable alliances. But in just the last 32 days, that entire system has been completely shattered. Today, we're analyzing the new and frankly volatile reality that's rising from the wreckage.
Now, before we dive deep, you need to understand something crucial. The events we're about to cover, they are not isolated incidents. Think of them as interconnected tremors in a massive global earthquake. And it's only when you understand how these crises connect that you can see the new paradigm, the new rules of power that are being written right before our eyes.
Our analysis starts at the epicenter, Operation Epic Fury. We're now 32 days in, and the conflict in the Middle East is spiraling into a brand new and much more dangerous phase. And look, you're going to want to stay till the end, because some of the connections I'm about to reveal are truly shocking. While you're at it, make sure you're subscribed for the latest updates on this evolving situation. All right, let's get back to it.
2,000. What's that number? That's the payload, in pounds, of the bunker buster bombs the US Air Force just dropped on a major Iranian ammunition depot in Isfahan. Now, these aren't just any bombs. They are specifically designed to punch through hardened underground targets. This wasn't just a strike. This was a message, a demonstration of overwhelming force.
So how does Iran respond? Well, the strategic battleground immediately shifts right here to the Strait of Hormuz. You have to think of this as the world's jugular vein for oil. And right now, Iran is putting its thumb directly on that critical choke point.
And Iran's response is, well, it's incredibly calculated. First, declaring all U.S. bases as targets. That's a direct military challenge. Claiming they destroyed some secret facility, that's a pretty clear propaganda play. But the real masterstroke here is the toll system and the vessel ban. That is economic warfare, and it's designed to inflict maximum pain on the global economy, to force everyone else's hand.
And this leads us to the first major geopolitical shockwave. You'd think a crisis like this would unite the West, right? Wrong. Our assessment shows it is absolutely shattering the alliance in real time.
This public statement from the White House is nothing short of a political earthquake. It's a total reversal of decades of American foreign policy. The core principle of collective security, the very bedrock of NATO since day one, gone, just like that.
And this really shows the philosophical collapse we're talking about. NATO was always built on collective defense, on shared responsibility. The new American doctrine? It's purely transactional. The message couldn't be clearer. America's security umbrella is no longer a guarantee. It's now a service for sale, and the price is total alignment with U.S. interests.
The fallout was, to put it mildly, immediate and catastrophic for the alliance. When the UK and France, two of America's oldest allies, asked for help securing shipping lanes, they were publicly shot down. So what happened next? Key allies like Spain and Italy retaliated, denying U.S. military planes access to their bases. The strategic takeaway is stark. European nations are now on their own.
So this brings us to the second major ripple effect. With the old system of alliances completely broken, how does a rising power like India adapt? How do you survive in a world where you can truly only depend on yourself?
This is the one question, the fundamental strategic question that every single nation is now being forced to answer. The collapse of the Western alliance has made it brutally clear that old promises are completely worthless. So who can you trust? The only logical answer is to become radically self-reliant. In India, they have a name for this doctrine, Atmanirbhar. And what was once an economic policy has now become a national security imperative.
And we're seeing this strategy being put into action with incredible precision. Take a look. The defense lab DRDO designs a new kind of radar. An Indian company, BEL, builds it, and then it's deployed to the frontiers to create a shield against stealth threats. The critical part? This entire chain is domestic. That insulates India's most important defense capabilities from any outside political pressure or, sudden supply chain disruptions.
And we see the exact same principle being applied to munitions. For the very first time, a private company's solar defense is mass-producing the Army's powerful Pinaka rocket system. This is a huge deal. It diversifies their industrial base, it protects against single points of failure, and it massively ramps up production capacity at the exact moment global supply chains are breaking down.
But here's the catch. No nation is an island. This big push for self-reliance is still vulnerable to global chaos. India had a deal to export these same Pinaka rockets to Armenia, but that deal is now completely stalled. Why? Because the only transit route runs directly through Iran, which, as we know, is now an active war zone.
So, let's pull all these threads together. The crucial takeaway is this. We are witnessing the violent birth of a new, more volatile, and way more fragmented global order. The certainties that defined the last 70 years, they're gone.
This table really just crystallizes the whole paradigm shift. We've gone from ideological alliances to unreliable transactions. We've gone from interdependent global supply chains to vulnerable, nationalized ones. And most importantly, we've moved from a world of US-dependent security to a world where the new mantra is radical self-reliance.
And this leaves us with the final, sobering question that every nation must now confront. The era of dependable alliances is over. A new era of strategic autonomy has begun, forcing every country to recalculate its own strength, its own vulnerability, and ultimately the true cost of standing alone. This concludes the briefing.